Two small children vanish from a quiet home in rural Nova Scotia. No scream. No struggle. Just emptiness. Lilly Sullivan was only 6 years old. Her little brother Jack, just 4. On the morning of May 2, 2025, both children disappeared from their home along Gairloch Road in Lansdowne Station, Pictou County. Lilly had been dressed in soft pink clothing. Jack wore his favorite blue dinosaur boots, the kind every parent remembers tucking on small feet before a day of play. Those simple details, bright colors against the forest backdrop, would become haunting images for searchers in the days to come. Authorities moved fast. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police announced there was no clear evidence of abduction. And yet, suspicion lingered. Nothing about this disappearance felt ordinary. By nightfall, hundreds had gathered, neighbors, strangers, friends, scanning the thick woods and winding roads. K9 units tracked faint scents, drones buzzed overhead, helicopters swept the tree line. For days, the search raged on. But by May 7th, the once furious effort began to scale back. The silence of the forest remained unbroken. Pause. Background sound shifts, heartbeat thump, faint whine through trees. But as the woods swallowed their tiny boot prints, another story began to take shape. A story of hidden files, whispered doubts, and secrets within the RCMP itself. And into that silence stepped a new detective. Behind the press conferences and public statements, a new figure quietly entered the investigation. His name, Detective Morgan Reed. A veteran of the RCMP's Major Crime Unit. His assignment was clear, but heavy, to dig beyond the official updates, and to find two children who may no longer want to be found. The emotional weight pressed on him from the start. Every missing child case comes with urgency. But here, the silence, the stillness, it felt unnatural. Public appeals continued. The RCMP gathered thousands of hours of video footage from across Pictou County, combing every second for a clue. Cameras along Gairloch Road were prioritized, covering the crucial window between April 28 and May 2. Leads poured in. More than 488 tips. 54 formal interviews. Polygraph tests administered to key individuals. Each testimony added a layer, but none brought the children back. Then, evidence surfaced. A small fragment of pink fabric, believed to be part of Lilly's blanket. Nearby, a single child-sized boot print pressed into the soft earth, just a kilometer from the Sullivan home. The clues seemed to whisper that the children had been there, and then vanished deeper into the trees. Among those questioned was Daniel Martel, the children's stepfather. He passed a polygraph, but later described the unbearable pressure of that room. They asked, "Did you kill Lilly and Jack?" "My stress level was astronomically through the roof." His words reflected the storm of suspicion that swirled even as evidence pointed nowhere definitive. Detective Reed turned inward, studying the psychology of the case. Were Jack and Lilly simply curious explorers, lured by the woods until they wandered too far? Or had a panicked guardian made a terrible mistake, one buried under silence and denial? Perhaps, Reed thought, it was something darker, an opportunistic stranger who struck in the briefest of windows. He weighed each scenario, each fragile possibility. In his private notes he scribbled a chilling line: "When a mother vanishes with her infant in the weeks that follow, the boundaries of nightmare expand." And then came the revelation. Within the family's phones lay thousands of unexamined messages, metadata, and digital traces. A trove of potential clues, hiding in plain sight. Detective Morgan Reed pushed further. With judicial authorization in hand, he unlocked the family's digital world, encrypted emails, hidden text messages, and location data buried beneath layers of code. Inside the data he found coordinates. They pointed to areas outside the original search perimeter, places never combed and never canvassed. The map of the investigation had shifted. In interviews, a neighbor finally broke their silence. They recalled hearing movement late at night near the old pipeline trail. There were no voices, no cries, only the faint rustle of someone passing through. Reed began to imagine the possibility. Two small children, exhausted and frightened, searching for shelter. A hollow log. A culvert. The dense brush of the forest closing around them like a trap. Publicly, the RCMP repeated the same words. There was no evidence of abduction, and all scenarios remained open. But privately, Reed feared that very message had limited the flow of tips and eroded the fragile trust of the community. He reflected not on the case, but on the children themselves. Lilly, the protective older sister, gentle and cautious. Jack, the fearless explorer, brimming with restless energy. Their personalities mattered, shaping how they might have moved, how far they might have gone, what choices they might have made when fear set in. These children weren't just missing, Reed thought. They were evaporated from the memory of their own home. Panic, guilt, and denial all swirl in the adults' minds, while silence covers everything else. And then came the most haunting discovery of all. On a recovered phone, in a deleted thread, a final text message appeared. It was sent from the stepfather to the mother, just before dawn on May 2nd. The message began with 3 words. Did you see? The sentence was never finished. But its weight was undeniable. Based on the digital evidence, authorities convened a hearing. In the end, Daniel Martel was cleared. No criminal charges were filed. But the decision did not restore public faith. Instead, it fractured it further, leaving a community uneasy and a family still under the shadow of suspicion. Detective Morgan Reed submitted his final forensic report. It did not close the case. Instead, it admitted the ambiguities, the gaps, the unanswered questions. His words urged the public to remain engaged, to continue searching, to resist letting the children slip into silence. The family's grief remained raw. Their mother spoke through tears. Every night, I cradled a memory of you both, how you laughed, your dinosaur boots clicking. Nothing can replace that. Beyond the courtroom, another battle began, one of public opinion. Online forums lit up with speculation. Some believed the RCMP had hidden evidence. Others whispered about logging companies in the forest, or about children led away by secret groups and poachers. The theories multiplied, echoing louder than facts. Reed pushed back in a rare interview. Conspiracy fills the void of not knowing, he said. But without evidence, it's just noise. Still, the questions refused to die. What happened to that unfinished text message? Who, exactly, did the neighbors see moving along the pipeline trail? Could advanced technology, heat mapping of the dense forest floor, reveal zones searchers had missed? Reed has not stopped. He continues coordinating ground sweeps and digital scans. The case remains open. Unresolved. Waiting. Jack and Lilly may not be found today. But their story demands that we keep looking. Their story demands that we keep remembering. And if you're listening now, and you haven't subscribed, I need to ask, what if this was your child? Don't walk away. Hit subscribe now. If you refuse, then go to the comments. Tell Jack and Lilly you don't care. Say it where the world can see. Subscribing is not just a click. It is a promise. A promise that you'll keep these children's faces alive. If you won't, explain why in the comments. True crime is not entertainment. It is empathy. And if you're not subscribed, you are choosing to step away from justice. And if you choose to skip subscribing, that's fine. But don't pretend you weren't part of the silence. Comment and admit why you chose not to speak up. Because silence is what took them. And silence is what will keep them gone.